Welcome to Vail, Colorado, where the nation's top all-star lacrosse teams collide. The Score Sports Network presents the MAV Paint All Lacrosse Shootout. It's Team Colorado versus the Mount Washington Tavern Green Turtle team from Baltimore. The shootout is sponsored by MAV Paint, paints and coatings manufactured by the Bruder family since 1899. And by All Lacrosse, the finest in lacrosse equipment.
We started with 16 all-star teams from across the country. We're down to just 2. The Mount Washington Tavern Green Turtles will meet Team Colorado for bragging rights and the men's championship at the 1988 MAV Paints All Lacrosse Shootout from Vail, Colorado. I'm Michael Clark. With me to call the action, the captain of America's 1982 World Championship lacrosse team, Bill Baroza. And Bill, many people are calling this tournament, because of the field it draws, the premier club tournament in America.
Well, it's an excellent tournament. It has teams represented from all over the United States, and certainly the competition has been fierce for the last 4 days. The 2 teams in the finals, Team Colorado is a young team. They've got a lot of depth, and if it's a warm day, we're going to see a lot of running from them. On the other hand, the Maryland team is a more experienced, well-schooled team, and we should see an exciting game from both sides.
2 different teams, 2 contrasting styles. Any predictions, Bill?
Well, the Maryland team does not have a lot of depth like Colorado, so what we're going to see is probably a little bit more slowed down offense. They will break. Their goalie's excellent, and he'll move the ball out quickly, and we'll see a lot of fast breaks when the time is right. Colorado, on the other hand, we will see running from them, I believe, the whole game.
All right, we can't get you to pick a winner. We'll come back and we'll badge you during the telecast. We will talk to both coaches when we come back right after this.
Here in the Hall of Fame, I'm reminded of why this is such a great sport. It demands a lot from its players. Quickness, speed, skill. It also gives a lot to the fans. It's a fast-moving game with a lot of hard hitting. But it requires total teamwork. Maybe that's why I love to watch America's game, lacrosse.
For information about the 1989 lacrosse shootout, contact the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse Foundation. From the player to the fan, the finest in lacrosse equipment is at All Lacrosse. Call 1-800-LACROSSE for the widest selection of T-shirts, hats, and posters, sticks, gloves, arm pads, jerseys, and shorts. For a free color catalog, call 1-800-LACROSSE and talk to an experienced sales staff. All Lacrosse, sponsors of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League and suppliers of the world champion USA national team. Our name and numbers say it all. All Lacrosse, 1-800-LACROSSE.
Michael Clark with Rich Mollett, coach of the Mount Washington Tavern Green Turtle team from Baltimore. And Coach, facing a team that's kind of different than you are in Colorado, what do you got to do today to win?
What we got to do is we have to settle the ball down. We've got to get on offense. We've got to be patient. And we got to play good defense all over the field. But the main thing is to get Colorado out of a running game and us into a patent offense.
Maryland has probably won this tournament more than any other team, all-star teams from Maryland. That put a lot of extra pressure on you guys here in the championships?
Well, I think it's pressure anytime you come from a hotbed of lacrosse. Everybody wants to knock off, supposedly the top team. And we're playing in Colorado's tournament, and we're playing Colorado, and, it's a pressure for us, but I think we got the guys who can handle it.
What about the altitude? Colorado obviously more used to playing at 8,500 feet, if anybody's ever used to playing at 8,500 feet.
Well, I think that's definitely a problem. I think that we got a lot of guys who are sore and hurting. 4 games in a row is tough for anybody. And playing up here with the altitude, it's going to be a factor, and that's why we can't run with Colorado. We've just got to be able to play our type of offense and our type of ball game.
Well, good luck, Coach. Hope you win.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Michael Clark with John Bach, coach of Team Colorado. And Coach, Colorado's in the final game for only the second time in more than 10 years. What's been your strategy to get here this far?
This year we really sought to combine legs and lungs has been our motto. Being from Colorado, we should have a little advantage being mile high and halfway to the 10,000-foot mark that we're playing at now. And we've really wanted to put together a group of athletes that could handle the altitude and could go for 4 days. We've also had a larger team than normal. going with a roster of 27 players. Hopefully, in the first 3 days, we saved our legs a little bit by having the substitutions that we've been doing, and we're ready to go today.
4 days of lacrosse at any altitude can be grueling. What about the specifics of this game stopping the Mount Washington Tavern team?
They've got an excellent team. From the defense right to the attack, they're a combination of who's who in lacrosse, being from the halcyon of lacrosse in Baltimore, as you and I both know. And they've got a combination of all America's world team players, and we've got our work cut out for us. Hopefully our legs will set us in good stead.
Is this a special maybe pressure or opportunity for Colorado lacrosse, maybe make a little name for themselves?
I think it's a great opportunity for Colorado lacrosse. We're so excited about the opportunity to get the exposure that you're bringing to us, as well as being in the finals of this great tournament. If we can win here, it would certainly help our programs at every level.
All right, John, thank you. Good luck. Hope you guys win.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And now MAV presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAV hope you find it useful. Color will help you to produce the effect you want in a room.
Color can add excitement, or it can subdue a busy room.
Some points to keep in mind. Light colors reflect more light. They make things seem larger, and they can make things seem farther away.
The light colors can make you feel more cheerful.
Dark colors absorb light. As a result, they may make things look smaller or closer together.
However, they can produce a very dramatic effect that the lighter colors can't.
There are warm colors, the reds, oranges, yellows, and yellow-greens. These colors will seem to advance towards you and convey the feeling of warmth.
The cooler colors, blues, violets, blue-greens, and blue-grays, seem to retreat from you. A subdued feeling is often achieved when a room is painted with the cooler colors.
This tip was selected from MAB's popular video presentation, Painting Tips Inside Your House. Michael Clark with Bill Baroza at the MAV Paints All Lacrosse Shootout from Vail, Colorado. In the green, they're doing the starting lineups now. That is the Mount Washington Tavern Green Turtles. In blue is Team Colorado. They're lining up for the official announcements. We'll have the face-off. We'll get underway. It'll be 4 15-minute periods. We'll have 4 officials on the field today. And Bill, is that a little different? Do we usually play with 3?
It'll help the players. It'll be a cleaner play game, I think, and it'll benefit both sides.
All right, you might as well give you your officials for today. They are referee Mike Corcoran, who's from River Edge, New Jersey. Mike Collier is the umpire from Atlanta. Field judge from Denver is Kevin Crossland. And Rod Korba is a chief bench official from Wooster, Ohio. And we have today's starting lineups also. Starting with Team Colorado, we will have on the attack number 1, Sam Hovey, number 3, Terry Klassen, number 7, Paul Mahoney in the midfield for the face-off. 10, Brian Salazar, 31, Brian Martin, and 23, Jim Hannon. On defense, 32, Paul Fazzini, 37, Steve Bevel, and 22, John McCarthy. That defense has been outstanding. The goalkeeper, number 12, Dan Cisneros. For Mount Washington, on the attack, 17, Craig Boubier. Number 3, Kirk Thurston, and number 12, Brooks Sweet. Number 9, midfield facing off, Steve Shaw. Number 20, Jim Darkangelo, and Doug Appleton. Number 19, on defense, John McGeeney. 23, Wayne Geblin. 24, there's a battle for the face-off. Dug out by Colorado. It's Brian Martin on the run. Martin feeds in the center. Knocked away. Attacking quickly that time in the middle was Terry Clausen, number 3. Green Mountain will, Mount Washington in the green will control, and they want to control the ball in the offensive end today and save their legs, Bill.
I think Mount Washington's going to slow it down as much as they can. Colorado, as we said earlier, has a lot of depth. So they're going to take their time, move the ball up the field, and they're very, very good 6-on-6. They've got some very good attackmen out there, and I think they're going to control the ball at the attack.
Back into the goal. That's Jimmy Beardmore, number 7 in goal for Mount Washington. He has been spectacular. Coming up on the left side, Jim Gadara sends it up. Boubier can't handle. It's a fight for it inside. Flipped up, and Brian Martin can't control. They fight for the ground ball. Picked up by Boubier, number 17, over to Delegati, number 22, at midfield. A strong and veteran midfield for Mount Washington in the green. That's the great Jim D'Arcangelo.
Jim's had a very good tournament so far. They'll look to him to control the ball at the midfield.
Working behind the goal, Mount Washington, we've already got a flag down. Thurston trying to get free, marked closely down there.
One of the strengths of the Mount Washington team is their man up or extra man play. They move the ball very, very well, and generally they do it in a 3-3.
Referee's stopping action.
Well, we're going to see man up and Glenn Miles starting with the ball, and they'll work it in that 3-3, as I said. They're going to look inside for a one-on-one shot. They're not going to look to shoot from the outside.
They'll take their time. Thurston slams it in, and that's pass down Cisneros, and quickly Mount Washington from Baltimore leads 1-0 with really only about a minute and a half gone here.
Well, that Mount Washington team, I said, can score quickly. As you can see on the replay here, they moved the ball inside very well, and they took a high shot against the goalie. He put it off stick side. But on that man-up play, you'll notice Mount Washington is not going to try to shoot from the outside.
Oh, is Thurston unassisted. Mount Washington leads 1-0. 13-19 to play in the first quarter. 4 15-minute quarters. You're only allowed 5 long sticks on the field at any one time. Thurston stripped, taken away. On the scoop is Hannon. They call him Hoover, number 23, because he scoops so well. And those ground balls. Here's DeShorio, 26. Colorado on the run. That's where they want to be. Changing lines coming in now. Chris Rossi on the run. He's a hard shooter. DeShorio is out. And Kevin Plummer, they call him Wheels, number 9, also out there. Taking that pass, Mark Brannigan. They've got a lot of speed in there for Colorado now. Behind the goal, Mahoney operating. He's the leading scorer in the tournament for Colorado. Dumps it off. Plummer. Brannigan. Low shot. Nice shot. Blocked by Beardmore, and he has been virtually impenetrable in this tournament.
He made a very, very nice save. The offensive player dropped his stick low, so Beardmore knew to come down and was ready for that save.
1 green, 2 green.
Beardmore taking his time behind the goal. We'll see if he does it against Colorado. He's been rushing the length of the field with the ball. A dangerous maneuver, but he's so quick, he's really been getting away with it. Colorado has already had an arm injury to number 23, Jim Hannon, and that could be crucial. Hannon's been important on their face-off team. They haven't always won the face-offs, Colorado, as they bring the ball in now. On the attack, it's Kevin Plummer running it up. Passing to John McCarthy, the defenseman. Taken away by Green Mountain. By Mount Washington Green Turtles. Pass a little bit behind the man, and Bouvier couldn't handle it. 2-on-2, a battle for the ground ball. Bouvier goes down. Falling on top of him is Terry Clausen. Here comes Colorado. They want to run. It's Rossi. He is quick and he shoots hard.
I think for Colorado to stay in this game, they're going to have to run and gun. And when they come down on a fast break, they're going to have to go to the goal. They don't want to play Maryland 6-on-6.
Nice passing, and just on the wing of the goal, Brannigan's shot fires across the open face wide, but Plummer is closest to it when it goes out, and it'll be Team Colorado ball. It looks like Hannon, in fact, is going to be okay. He is crucial, especially on those face-offs. Long stick defender who plays midfield on the face-offs. They were able to take the ball away from Stennerson.
As you see, number 12 is Brooks Sweet. He's an attackman, so they're trying to isolate on him right now, and they're going to try to go against him because he's not their best defensive player.
Brannigan gets a step on him, but the shot is wide left. There comes Mahoney. Behind the goal. Tough place to pass, and it's knocked away from Clausen and scooped by Crone on the run. Oh, goal! Excellent shot on the right side.
That goal from Glenn Miles is just typical of what Glenn can do, and we'll see that in a second.
Miles unassisted.
Yeah, 19 came down very well on a fast break. He's a long stick mid. He hit Glenn Miles. I'll tell you, it looked the whole time that Glenn Miles was going to look to dump it off to another attackman, but he found the open side on the goalie. And Glenn Miles scored the winning goal 2 years ago in the championship game for the Mount Washington Panthers at the time.
When Miles voted best United States midfielder in lacrosse in 1986, graduate from the Naval Academy. On the run, there's Hannon. He is back. He doesn't look like he's suffered any ill effects. Beardmore scoops it out in front. Crone can't pick it up, and now we've got a whistle.
That was a great save by Jimmy Beardmore. He got down very low, and he's attacking the ball well. What's interesting is on the face-off, Steve Shaw for Mount Washington Turtles is one of the best face-off men in the game. And right now, I don't know what the count's at, but it seems like Colorado's winning quite a few of the face-offs.
Which is surprised they lost them to Stennerson from Latshaw, but took the ball away from him. Oh! In the right upper corner, a tremendous shot from Parietti. Rick Parietti from Colorado State University and the Denver Rifles puts Colorado on the board.
Okay, that was a great shot by Parietti. I'll tell you, Beardmore was waiting for him to come down. He was protecting the inside pipe, and he was waiting for a bounce shot, and that thing never came to the ground. Stayed high, and it was a great shot. And we've got a great game going here, 2-1.
Face off again with 10:05 to play in the first quarter. It's 2-1. Mount Washington Green Turtles from Baltimore leading Team Colorado. Both teams drawing blood quickly. Parietti's first goal in the tournament. Martin scoops it ahead. Crone can't pick it up. Here's McGeeney, top defender for the Mount Washington team. Takes a hard check that time from Sam Hovey, number 1. Hovey keeps it in. There's Hannon. 23 battling, 31 Brian Martin. DeShorio shoved out of the action for Colorado. And no, is it fierce down there. And there is Hannon. Hannon's already got 4 ground balls and 1 fast break opportunity. Jim Hannon, they call him Hoover, and he is doing it again today.
This game is typically the team that wins the ground ball game wins the game. I tell you, Colorado is aggressively attacking every ground ball.
On the run, Colorado out in front. Beardmore takes the bouncer in the chest on Tim Kisselnicki's shot. Ooh. Beardmore, the goalie, flattened. Nobody has done that to him yet in the tournament when he comes out. Nice shot by Rossi, handled well by Cisneros. And everybody is yelling about the flattening of Beardmore by the defense of Colorado. Here comes Kisselnicki again. He passes. DeShorio's shot blocked out in front. Beardmore, very impressive.
A great save by Jimmy Beardmore again. I'll tell you, I think he might be hurt right now, and the ref is calling to stop the play.
Beardmore has come out of the goal, and he has paid for it. Colorado said secretly this is something they wanted to do. He has 5 saves already, only 1 goal allowed. They wanted to punish him when he runs it upfield, and they did just that.
I'll tell you, it's a good play. It was a clean hit, and I don't believe Mount Washington has a backup goalie here, so they need to take that timeout, and they need to get him back into the game.
So we've got timeout from the MAB Paints All Lacrosse Championships here. It's 2-1. Maryland in the lead. Back after this. We're back. Green team in the Green Turtles, Mount Washington Tavern with the ball. They lead 2-1. Boy, that was a long pass. Length of the field.
I'll tell you, Colorado was trying what they call a full field zone ride, and the Colorado goalie was out trying to cover all the players. So they thought on a long pass they might be able to hit an attackman and then go to an open goal.
So far, Mount Washington leading 2-1, a team from Maryland, but Team Colorado causing a lot of problems. And looking strong. Here's Lou Delegati. He's a tough customer at both ends of the field. Out to Guidera. Being marked by Salazar. Gets the shot off. Nice save by Dan Cisneros. Hannon can't control. That's unusual for the sure long stick of Hannon. Salazar. Checked away, but grabbed by Hannon. Hannon is everywhere. Gets it back out of trouble to Fazzini.
We got a penalty on 7 Green. That was a slash, or 17 Green, excuse me.
Bouvier. And he will have to sit down. And Colorado will be a man up.
There's a lot of action there, and I'll tell you, I've not seen a lot of Colorado's man up during this tournament, but they've got some great stick handlers out here. So we'll take a look at it the first time around and let you know where we think the shot's coming from.
A chance for Colorado to tie. They trail 2-1 here at the Lacrosse shootout. And by the goal, there's Mahoney. He's dangerous. He's their largest scorer. Hovey. Rossi shoots hard off of Beardmore's helmet, perhaps, that time.
Another great save. Kept his position in the goal.
They rule no shot that it went off a player. Mahoney is angry that he didn't get the ball. Beardmore looks a little shaky back there. He's got the ball. He's on the run. This is where Colorado wants to check him. He gets away. No call on that check. A hard check by Guthrie, number 19. Guthrie battling in there for Colorado, and it's grabbed by Brian Martin, who had 2 goals in the semifinals. Stolen by McCarthy.
We're seeing a lot of great stick handling here. When the ball's on the ground, both teams fighting aggressively, but certainly a lot of good passing in this game so far.
Hovey has it up top for Colorado. Here comes a man in from the penalty, and Shaw flattens Hovey from behind. We've got a call. Hovey is down. He looks like he's going to be okay.
We're waiting for the call from the official.
A push.
That was a push. I don't know if there was no possession.
A push on Shaw. Shaw. Here we go. Watch it again.
We're going to see it on the camera. The pass was made, and since there was no possession, there was no penalty. But
wrap check by Shaw, as you saw there on the push. There was another wrap check by Shaw. This one paid dividends, produced a loose ball, but it is grabbed by Rossi. Hovey has it now up top for Colorado, and for a change, Colorado's taking their time.
Yeah, they are. I think they're slowing down. At the same time, they didn't take advantage of that man-up play, so they're playing 6-on-6 now.
Colorado has been a very strong second-half team, probably because of their conditioning. Guthrie shoots hard. Beardmore, again impressive. It's loose in front. McGeaney trying to scoop. Runs by the ball. Now he has it.
That shot was taken high right at the stick side of the goalie. Jimmy Beardmore was in position, made a nice save.
Shaw sends it up across the midline. Miles has it.
This is the first time Maryland's been on offense for a while.
We've got a flag. Play continues. And a goal. An offside is wiped out. The goal by Brooks Sweet, who is the high scorer coming in today with 7 points. 5 goals and 2 assists. Now will make that 6 goals. And now Washington goes up 3-1. They survived the man down situation. They come back and they score.
Well, Brooks Sweet was played with me on the 1982 USA team. Was the most valuable player. We see Brooksy coming around on the right side. What's interesting about that is Brooksy mostly shoots left-handed. So that was a great drive to the goal, and I guess they're going to have to watch both ways covering Brooksy for the rest of the game.
6th goal of the tournament for Sweet. Here's the face-off again. Colorado been doing very well in the midfield. Their long stick midfielders have done well, but they still trail 3-1. Salazar punches it loose, and it's Hannon. Who else picks the loose ball but loses it? He's got it back. Marked closely that time by Appleton, his counterpart with the long stick. And now Salazar has it up top for Colorado.
Colorado's going to have to go hard at them, and going to have to take advantage of that winning the faceoff. As they win the faceoff, they're going to have to attack the goal and create some opportunities for themselves.
Good shot, hard shot by Clausen. Bounces out in front. Beardmore saves. Guthrie will chase it down. He has 5 goals coming in and one of the scoring leaders for Colorado. Jim Guthrie, a Denver Rifle, on the pro team that played here in the American Lacrosse League. From Roanoke, was an All-American second teamer there. Good offensive player. He's moving around up top now. Marked closely by Crone. Throws the good pass behind the net. Klassen gets it back out. To Hovey, back to Klassen. Colorado showing a lot of patience, moving the ball well here. Trailing 3-1, Colorado has generally started quickly but been about even at halftime and then blown opponents out with their depth in the second half and their speed. Ryan Salazar. Back to Guthrie.
See, now not taking advantage. Colorado's not taking advantage of their strength, and that's running a team, and they got to tire the Mount Washington Green Turtles down.
Guthrie whirling, shooting low. It goes right side by the outside of the 6x6.
Another great save by Jim Beardmore.
Shot by Hovey was an excellent one on an outstanding pass from Mason Goodhand. Fazzini with the check, it doesn't matter. Coming by is DeSico. Pick it up. He gets it to Sweet. Here is Sweet again on the outside. 3-1. The ball and the lead to Mount Washington. They want ball control. They want to be on offense most of this game and save their legs. They want patience. Hannon trying to ride the player out of the play. Nice save on the bounce by Cisneros. Brian Martin. Brian Martin, all Ivy League in 2 sports, lacrosse and as a goalie for Yale in soccer. Salazar gives to Brannigan. They call him Rudy the Rabbit. He's pretty quick.
Colorado's getting into the type of game that Mount Washington wants them to be in, a slow-down 6-on-6 game, and that's not helping them at this point in time because Colorado does have the speed.
And this man, Kevin Plummer, they call him Wheels. He's one of the faster players on Colorado's team. Hit by Crone and taken away. Now Washington's defense rising to the occasion. Beardmore out of the goal again. Coming up now, Jeff Flagg for Mount Washington. Flagg on the run. To Nordberg. In the second half of their win over MAB Paint in the semifinals, Nordberg and Flagg filled in admirably for the starters. And the team lost nothing out in front. Oh, a vicious check on Nordberg. He is hurting. He's down and hurting. He was in good position, and Colorado made him pay for it. Now here comes Colorado's game on the run. It's Wheels Plummer.
That's where they got to take advantage of their speed.
Fires a shot. Beardmore deflects it again. And Mount Washington still in the lead. 3-1 with 2:07 to play in the first quarter of the MAB Paint All Lacrosse Shootout from Vail, Colorado.
And now MAB presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAB hope you find it useful. Let color really work for you. If you have a long, narrow space, paint the 2 end walls in a warmer or deeper hue than the other walls to make the space appear less narrow. A southwest room will feel even warmer if reds or yellows are used.
Or you may want to cool this room down by choosing blues and greens.
Conversely, northern exposure rooms may appear too cool.
The color of a room can have a dramatic effect on the mood you want to create. Although neutral colors are safe, don't stick with them because you're afraid to use color. Use these guidelines and let color put a decorative touch to your room.
This tip was selected from MAB's popular video presentation, Painting Tips, Inside Your House. All right, we're back. MAB Paint All Lacrosse Classic, and we're seeing some action from the first quarter.
That was a nice hit by one of the Colorado players. I think that was on Jeff Nordberg. And Jeff came off of the field after that play, but he's back out there for the start of the second quarter.
He is okay. And if we had a key stat early in this game, it might be 9 saves for goalkeeper Jimmy Beardmore of the Mount Washington team in green. They lead 3-1.
He's certainly the difference right now. And we're seeing some aggressive playing a little bit here in the start of the...
Beardmore has it behind it. He's not running it up since they hit him. You know, he is not nearly as aggressive running the length of the field after Colorado punished him for it. That was Colorado's plan. He's been running the field with tremendous speed out of the goal when he picks up a save against all the other teams in his tournament. You got to win 4 times to win a tournament. Both these teams are 3-0 coming in. That's Delegati, the midfielder, coming around behind the goal.
I think Maryland's going to be patient. They're going to wait for a shot. The end of the first quarter is coming up, so they're going to take their time. They're going to try to stretch the lead to one more goal.
Brooke Sweet to Dark Angelo.
They've got an attackman out there on a midfielder, so they're going to take advantage of that situation again.
Slipping to the ground, Jeff Nordberg. Martin takes it away. Here's Hannon on the run. This is what Colorado wants, the fast break. Just out of the reach of Terry Clausen. Colorado operating. It's Rick Parietti. He got his first goal of the tournament earlier. DeShorio fires and Beardmore is right there. John Bach, coach for Colorado, showing frustration on the sideline. Darn. Ooh. McGeaney took a hit from DeShorio and just tumbling into the Colorado bench. Now on the attack, it's Darkangelo faking around the net. Delegati fakes low, goes high, has a score, and then Martin and Delegati nearly tangle by the end behind the net. It is a goal for Lou Delegati. Beautiful move.
Oh, what set that goal up was a nice save on the other end by Jimmy Beardmore. It was not the best shot to have been taken at that time. It was a high stick side shot, but Jimmy made the save, tried to outlet it quickly because there was not much time left on the clock.
It's 4-1. Mount Washington in control here with 4 seconds to go in the first quarter. Lou Delegati, from former Towson State player, Mount Washington club team player, 2 times an all-box lacrosse player for the Philadelphia Wings, and a former college All-American. Face off again, it's Shaw battling with Salazar, and that's it. End of the first quarter. A bit of a surprise, perhaps. Mount Washington starting very quickly. Tremendous goalkeeping by Jimmy Beardmore, and Mount Washington from Baltimore leading 4-1 over Team Colorado from the MAB Paint All Lacrosse Shootout in Vail, Colorado. Back with second quarter action after this. 4-1, Mount Washington in control at the MAB Paints All Lacrosse Classic here. And some interesting statistics from the first half.
Yeah, Colorado has 16 shots on goal versus Mount Washington's 9. But obviously the score is 4-1. The shots for Mount Washington are falling in. The ground balls are about even. Colorado's got 12 and Mount Washington 10.
Colorado has had excellent team defense from a score of players, but today Mount Washington's getting inside and scoring. DeShorio feeding Hannon, he can't control, but picked up quickly on the other side, or at least kicked, not picked up, is Paul Mahoney. Mahoney's been kept quiet. That's number 7 out there. He came in here with 13 points, including 8 goals.
Tell you the big difference in the game so far, Mike, is the goaltending. Jimmy Beardmore has 12 saves for Mount Washington, while Colorado total of 3 saves.
4-1, Mount Washington in control. But again, we've said it, Colorado is a second half team in this tournament. They've usually stayed close in the first half. That one beyond the reach of Terry Clausen, and this is where Mount Washington wants to be on the offense. Running it up is Wayne Gebline. Miles can't control. It's out of bounds. It'll be Colorado ball. Chasing it down on that sideline, Tim Kesselnicki.
Colorado's got a break if they take advantage of it. They have an extra man on the field right now.
Kesselnicki fires long.
Not a good shot to take, Mike, on a goalie that's been playing as well as Jimmy Beardmore. You want to move it inside and break him down mentally by taking a close-in shot.
DeShorio feeds, shot by Clausen, bounces wide of the net, and Mahoney alertly by the ball. It'll stay Colorado ball with 13:40 to play in the second quarter. Colorado needs to score. They're down 4-1. It's an explosive game, but you don't want to get a bunch of veterans like Mount Washington too far out in front. Parietti feeding out in front, anybody's ball. Grabbed by Hovey. Thrown away. I'm sorry, that was Mahoney. Aiming a pass for Hovey, overthrew him. And Gebline will have it, no, they're going to let Miles bring it in. Glenn Miles from Navy, from Delaney High School in Maryland, which has 3 players on this Maryland team. Interesting note, the high school that has more players in this All-Star Club tournament than any other is Ward Melville High School in East Setauket, Long Island, at least 15 in the 3 divisions of competition here. There's Miles dodging nicely, sends it up to Boubier. Brooks Sweet. Sweet coming around behind the net, now takes it back out on the wing.
One thing you'll notice is both coaches are substituting quickly because of playing in the high altitude here. You know, the players do get winded a little bit more easily, so they keep subbing the lines quickly.
Hovey trying to chase it down, but it's grabbed by Green Mountain, Mark DeSico. They call him Seek and perhaps Destroy because he hit so hard. There's Miles, sends it back over, backhand. Bouvier doesn't get to it because Bevel comes up with it. Bevel has marked some of the top scorers that Colorado's faced and done a great job. Here's Colorado on the offense. Nice feed by the side and goal, Mahoney! On an outstanding pass from Terry Clausen. Colorado.
Every time a goal
back. Colorado cutting the lead now to 4-2.
Every time a goal scored, it's well, here we go. We see the replay coming up. It was a beautiful setup, started on defensive end by Steve Bevel on that ball and got it down there, and just a beautiful one-on-one with the goalie. He took advantage of the inside shot.
5 quick passes. That was something missing from Colorado's attack earlier.
No, I think Colorado finally woke up. I think it's gonna be a great. It's been a great game, and it's gonna even get better.
Salazar burrowing under, controls the face-off, comes right into the goal, bounces it high over the top. Beardmore didn't need to save that one. Colorado, that goal looked like they had new life. Salazar taking the face-off right at Mount Washington. Now Colorado controls. Salazar with the ball. Behind the goal, there's Clausen.
Well, Colorado did lead in face-offs 3-2 for the first quarter, and starting off this second quarter, they're doing a fine job with facing off again.
And it comes out of the stick. No shot on that one from Clausen. And Gebline will take it in. And looks like an on-ride here. They're marking him closely back there. Now here's Shaw with nobody on him. Clausen coming over. Sends it back to Gebline. And here's Beardmore. Will he run it? No, he's not running it. He's staying close to the goal.
I think they told him, the coaches told him from Mount Washington, that he can't afford to lose him for the game. He's been playing so well.
Tim Wenzel with the ground ball on a long run for Colorado. Shot by Clausen, blocked again by Beardmore. He had 10 saves in that first quarter. Phenomenal number. Colorado getting more shots, but they're down 4-2. On the attack. Kirk Thurston, they call him Fuzzy. McCarthy can't keep it in. Wenzel and McCarthy cannot control. Thurston's stick, wooden stick snapped. The basket is snapped off. Getting a little bit rough out there. Nordberg will replace Thurston. He's got a full stick there. Delegati to Darkangelo. This is the veteran midfield with Darkangelo and Delegati.
Delegati's got a goal in this game already. I'm sure he's going to try to go to the goal.
So far, Colorado's long sticks have started 3 fast breaks, but they have not converted on any of them. Now Washington doing what they want to do, controlling the pace here on offense. Here's Delegati.
He loves to go to the goal.
Out to Darkangelo, the veteran feeds. Sweet bounces across the face of the goal and out of bounds. And they rule Colorado is closest to it. Jeff Flagg doesn't like that call, but it'll be Colorado ball. Bevel on the long pass to Clausen. Brannigan and Rossi come in to run offense for Colorado. Here's Guthrie. He's got a hard shot, often shoots from the outside. Rossi coming across the middle, blocked nicely by Crone, prevented from even getting that shot off. And now Washington's defense is very tough against Latshaw. Colorado, against Latshaw, Colorado was able to run past the defenders with their speed. They're not doing it against his veteran defense for Mount Washington. Speed is not paying off yet.
Well, it's a rather cool day today, and the temperature is not a factor in this game. As a matter of fact, it's helping Mount Washington Green Turtles.
Delegati has it up top, and that's true. They're praying for cloud cover. It's a beautiful day. We've had 4 days of sunshine, a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, but a grueling 4 days of lacrosse. Colorado's idea to come in here and be as fresh for the final game by having a lot of players, whether they complained about playing time or not, have them fresh. Now Washington feels they can win with any number. They won it here in 86 with 16 players as Darkangelo's shot goes wide. Michael Clark with Bill Baroza. Now Washington with the ball in the 4-2 lead in the second quarter.
I tell you, that was a great defense by Colorado.
And Mahoney controls it at midfield with a nice scoop. In the middle, Clausen couldn't control. Hovey fights for it. Knocked away by Gebline, who gets a stick in the face for his trouble. No whistle. Hovey tries to keep it in, and it's grabbed by Crone. Back to Gebline. That defense is doing a good job for Mount Washington. Colorado not getting as many shots this quarter. Beardmore is out of the goal. He got hammered before. He still got it. Ooh. Brannigan misses a flying check on Darkangelo. Darkangelo, the veteran, number 20, who gave off there to McGeaney, is playing with a very sore calf. Perhaps split tendons. Severe case of shin splints, so he's hoping that's all it is. Miles is in on the run. Takes it towards the Colorado goal. Wheeling up in the middle. Feeds, but it's stolen by McCarthy. Ground ball grabbed by Delegati over his head. Delegati chasing it down on the far sideline. And it's grabbed by the defense, Dave Devine, former world team player out of Cornell, who's lived here in Colorado for many years. And we've got Colorado calling a timeout. It's 4-2. Now Washington in control with 7:40 to play in the second quarter from the MAV Paint All Lacrosse Shootout in Vail, Colorado. Michael Clark, Bill Baroza will be back after this.
And now MAV presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAV hope you find it useful.
Do study chips in both daylight and the light or environment they are intended. Colors often change under artificial light.
Do plan to continue the color flow throughout your house by using harmonious colors in rooms that adjoin.
Do paint the ceiling, walls, and trim the same color if you want to create the appearance of a larger room. If you do plan to mix colors within the same room, use a warm color with a cool one, but do not use the colors in equal proportions.
Do use light colors to make a room look larger.
And dark colors to make it appear smaller.
This tip was selected from MAB's popular video presentation, Painting Tips, Inside Your House.
From the player to the fan, the finest in lacrosse equipment is at All Lacrosse. Call 1-800-LACROSSE for the widest selection of t-shirts, hats, and posters, sticks, gloves, arm pads, jerseys, and shorts. For a free color catalog, call 1-800-LACROSSE and talk to an experienced sales staff. All Lacrosse, sponsors of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League and suppliers of the world champion USA national team. Our name and numbers say it all. All Lacrosse, 1-800-LACROSSE.
We're back. And Michael Claw with Bill Baroza. Action from the second quarter in the shootout here in Vail, Colorado.
As we said earlier in the game, we said the ground balls make a difference in the game, and both teams are fighting aggressively for them because they know that's a stat. At the end of the game, the team that's got the most probably will end up with the higher score.
You're looking at Team Colorado. Colorado has hosted this tournament since 1973. They've only been in the finals in the last 12 years or 13 years, twice. Losing it in '85. They'd like to win it for the first time in recent history now. Mount Washington's attack on, they've scored on 3 of their 4 goal attempts.
As we said earlier in the game, Mount Washington's strength is at their attack. And Greg Bouvier there, a perennial All-American from Johns Hopkins, and Jeff Norberg, who played there as well. They've got a very good attack, and as I said earlier, Brooks Sweet, who was the All-World player in 1982, MVP of the entire tournament. Excellent attack.
Rossi on the run for Colorado, number 16. Rossi coming around behind the goal, checked by Miles, slips, falls, grabbed by Gebline. Here's Gebline on the run for Mount Washington. Leads him on offense. He's got Bouvier on the wing, feeds in the middle instead to Denny Llewellyn. Can't control. Here's Plummer. He's got to get past Miles. He does. Unsettled situation on the break. Clausen to Hovey. Hovey shot grabbed in front by Beardmore. Flips it. What a... Oh, yeah. I thought he was going to throw it right to Nordberg, but he actually overthrew him. That would have been a phenomenal toss.
Mike, that was actually a desperation pass, but it did the right thing. It got it out of their defensive end of the field after he made a nice breakup.
Devine to Mahoney behind the net. To Plummer, charged to the net, and Colorado has closed the gap to just 1 goal. 4-3 Mount Washington. There you see him wheels Plummer.
If you watch the game from the beginning, it seems like Mount Washington should be winning by a lot greater score. They've controlled defensively and offensively, but as the score indicates, it's 4-3 Mount Washington, and we got plenty of time left in the second quarter.
Let's look at it again.
A great play, great cut, came down, bounced the ball low, and Beardmore just didn't have time to set up for that save. I mean, it was in close, so he's made many fine one-on-ones so far during the game.
Shaw controlling that face-off. He's done well this tournament. Green Mountain keeping it in. Dave Sherwood had 2 goals in the semifinals as they beat MAB Paints. There's Shaw up top for Bouvier. Going in the middle, blocked by Cisneros. Good defense there, didn't really have a good angle.
Didn't have much angle, but Bouvier kept trying to come inside. Cisneros had a chance to pick up that ball and get that ball cleared. I tell you, you've got to go after those, and you've got to put your head down and get every ball. As it comes to the end of this game, you don't want to play in a 1-goal game.
Miles working up top with Shaw. To Bouvier on the wing. Feeds Miles driving, goal! Beautiful play. 5-3. Mount Washington in the lead.
Men's finals. Assisted by number 17, Greg Bouvier.
That was just a great example of a give and go. Glennie took the ball, gave it to the attackman. He just cut, came right back. You see it all the time in basketball, and it's a great lacrosse play.
Coming in here, Coach Rich Mollett for the Mount Washington team had some question marks. Guys who hadn't played well in the last year. Miles was one of them because he doesn't play lacrosse regularly anymore. He comes out for these all-star tournaments, but he has really had an outstanding tournament, really come on and been a big factor as Mount Washington leads 5-3 in the second quarter with 5:48 to play before the half. Shaw battling DeShorio. DeShorio picks it up. We've got an illegal procedure call, and it'll go to Mount Washington. We've got an illegal substitution against Mount Washington, a legal procedure back the other way. Make that Colorado's ball now. 5:45 to play in half. Colorado down 2, 5-3. The long stick Martin comes off, and the short sticks Parietti and DeShorio come on. DeShorio drops the ball. Ooh, check by Hovey. Knocks the ball away from Appleton. Here comes Mount Washington on the attack. Shaw has it. On ride, Hovey would help from DeShorio, doubling. Clausen giving chase, but Gebline has it over the midfield. He's got Joe Llewellyn on one side, sends it down low. That's Brooks Sweet.
Yeah, Joe Llewellyn cut to the goal there. He was wide open. There was not a Colorado player within 5-6 yards of him, but his attackman didn't see him.
McCarthy on Bouvier, creating the turnover, picked up in goal by Cisneros, and here comes DeShorio. Back to Bevel, and on into the attack mode. Kiselnicki, number 14, up top. Guthrie and Parietti come on for Colorado.
Colorado's not running them the way I thought they would be. They had an opportunity to break them there, but the midfielders were tired. And, well,
Guthrie passing nicely across the net, but the shot from Clausen goes wide. And it will be Mount Washington ball, the green team, the Green Turtles. Sponsored by Mount Washington Tavern, and one of the great veterans who is on this team, Ted Bauer, and also by the Green Turtle Tavern in Baltimore. Bill Pacos also on his team, and he is a sponsor, their owner of the Green Turtle Tavern in Fells Point in Baltimore. Darkangelo with the ball. He is all everything. What can you say about Jimmy Darkangelo, one of the all-time greats?
I probably had more saves in my career against Jimmy Darkangelo, but at the same time, he's probably scored most of his goals against me as well.
That shot bounces high and wide, but Mount Washington, Brooks Sweet chased it out of bounds, and Mount Washington will keep control. Jimmy Darkangelo 3 times on the USA World Team, 35 years of age, and still pulling off some phenomenal plays. As we work on the goal here with the official, Jim Darkangelo, with his team down by 2 goals in less than a minute to play against New York Athletic Club, pulled a behind-the-back wrap check against an all-world player, whose name is escaping me now. I'll come up with it in a second. And many people said not only was it the greatest defensive play that they'd seen Darkangelo, but maybe the greatest lacrosse play they'd ever seen earlier in this tournament. Totally turned the game around. And Washington scoring twice in 8 seconds after that, and going on in double overtime to beat New York Athletic Club in the quarterfinals to make it here to the final game, obviously their goal. Here's Lou Delegati. He's got 1 goal today. Operating on Kiselnicki. Gets help on a double team around from behind by Hansen, but he beats it, comes low, and gets past Cisneros. The double team did not work that time.
Lou Delgatti must run about 210, big fella, and he wasn't going against a large midi for the Colorado team. So he kept driving to the goal. He figured he could beat him, but again, the whole Colorado team collapsed on him, but it didn't seem to make a difference. He's coming off the field now a little bit shaken up, but I think the goal will probably be worth the while on that.
He went down hard while he was shooting. And we've got temporary time while they walk him off the field, and Mount Washington has jumped out now. to equal their biggest lead of the game. They lead 6-3 over Team Colorado with 3:28 to go in the half. Coach Rich Mollett said, "We like nothing better than to beat Colorado on their own field. We want to make them hurt. We want to beat them right here in Colorado. That's our challenge." Face off Salazar, who's been effective of late. Burrows in very low against a very strong Shaw. And Salazar is lone again. Shaw raking with the butt end of his stick. That could be dangerous.
That should have been a penalty there, but the ref maybe didn't get the good angle on that. Another great save by Jimmy Beardmore.
Martin, who runs so well for a long stick defenseman. Minor neck injury for Lou Delegati. We believe we'll see him again shortly. Nice grab by DeSico. Martin chasing him all the way out of bounds. That was a little sidewinder missile seek and destroy from Martin instead of DeSico. Green Mountain taking their time. That's what they want. Brooks Sweet operating. He is always dangerous. Going here against Paul Fazzini. Feet in the middle. Oh, behind the back. Shot by Kirk Thurston. It's wide, and again, it's Hoover Hannon sweeping up that loose ball. Clausen. Oh, he had Tom Wenzel breaking all alone in the midfield and threw it behind him.
That's where I thought Colorado was going to take advantage of this game today on the fast breaks, but they threw a bad pass there and threw it away.
We've got timeout. We'll leave you with this one. It's 6-3. One reason, Jim Beardmore, 17 saves here as we near the end of the second quarter at the Lacrosse shootout from Vail, Colorado. We'll be back right after this. We're back at the MAB Paint All Lacrosse shootout in Vail, Colorado. Mount Washington in the green in control 6-3 over Team Colorado. A battle between the best all-star teams in the various hotbeds around the nation. There have been a lot of great teams at MAB Paint from Philadelphia, Lacrosse also from Baltimore. This Mount Washington Green Turtle team from Baltimore. The Long Island team, the defending champions, knocked out by MAB Paint. MAB Paint in turn knocked out by, knocked out, yes, by Mount Washington.
Mount Washington's been very patient on the clear. And as you said, Jimmy Beardmore staying in the goal now. They need to conserve him to stop the ball. They've got plenty of other people that can clear the ball upfield.
Miles pointing at Hovey, something he didn't like, runs right by him. Bouvier out in front. Great grab by Cisneros.
That was a great save. That was off stick side. He moved across the goal very nicely.
Devine's pass misses its intended receiver, but Mahoney has it. He's angry. He got checked by Miles. Miles is getting into it with a number of the Colorado players now as things heat up. Colorado trailing by 3 on the run. Salazar scores! And it is no surprise, a Colorado crowd here as Colorado cuts the margin to 6-4. They're down by 2.
Salazar's been a big asset for that Colorado team. He's been winning faceoffs, and obviously there he scored a goal, help his team out. This game is not over. It's close. Salazar coming down. He does it all by himself. That's Teddy Bauer trying to get in and cover him. It was a break, and it was an unsettled situation. That's where most of the goals are being scored.
Colorado playing the fast break game they've wanted to play, thought perhaps they'd play a little better than they have on that situation. Of course, Jimmy Beardmore, the goaltender, has been unstoppable. Shaw getting down on a faceoff for Mount Washington. Salazar burrows under. Shaw has the scoop. Can't control. Now he's got it. Boy, Salazar is right on him. And it's Guthrie with a quick scoop, wide open goal, 1-on-1. Beardmore bests him. Appleton overthrowing Shaw. And Colorado will come back on offense. We've got 1:15 in the half. Crowd calling for Colorado to get started here. Plummer comes on for Colorado. They go back for the speed. Guthrie has it up top.
Guthrie going against Mark DeSico, long stick, and that's not what you want to do. You're trying to find a short stick out there, but then Glenn Miles is a great defensive middie as well as an offensive middie.
Plummer up top. Gets by Miles. Comes in, throws very high. Ball came right out of the top of his basket, but they ruled it a shot. Mahoney has it, and it's intercepted out in front by DeSico. 38 seconds to go in the half. Green Mountain will try to get a little offense going here in the waning seconds. They lead 6-4. D'Arcangelo on the run. He's always dangerous. Out in front. Couldn't hit Sweet with that one. Boubier recovers. Here's D'Arcangelo. He's got it, and he did it, right-handed. He is a right-hander. I thought for a second he broke tradition and done it left-handed.
No, Jimmy D'Arcangelo scores probably 99% of his goals right-handed. He started with the left, came back right, and put in a nice shot on the right top-hand corner. We'll take a look at the play here. Jimmy's got it in his left hand. He changes over to the right and puts it in. I'm sure the goalie had a little bit of a screen on that because his defenseman, Steve Bevel, number 37, was standing there. Just a great play by the entire Mount Washington team to move the ball up from the defensive end to the offensive end so quickly with just less than a minute to go in the halftime.
When they scored 2 goals in 10 seconds, they showed you just what they can do. We've got timeout in that quarterfinal game to win it. We've got timeout, and that's the last timeout for Mount Washington. We'll be back with more second quarter action right after this.
And now MAV presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAV hope you find it useful.
While at the store to purchase your paint, you'll find a wide variety of brushes from which to choose. There are 3 major types on the market.
Natural bristle brushes, which are made from animal bristle, are recommended for varnish and oil-based stains and paints. They are not recommended for latex-type paints because they absorb water and lose their shape.
Synthetic bristle brushes, which are composed of nylon or polyester filaments, are recommended for application of all latex, alkyd, acrylic, and enamel paints.
Foam brushes don't hold up well, but they are ideal for small jobs and touch-ups. They can be used to apply both types of paints for a mirror-smooth finish.
This tip was selected from MAB's popular video presentation, Painting Tips Inside Your House.
From the player to the fan, the finest in lacrosse equipment is at All Lacrosse. Call 1-800-LACROSSE for the widest selection of t-shirts, hats, and posters, sticks, gloves, arm pads, jerseys, and shorts. For a free color catalog, call 1-800-LACROSSE and talk to an experienced sales staff. All Lacrosse, sponsors of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League and suppliers of the world champion USA national team. Our name and numbers say it all. All Lacrosse, 1-800-LACROSSE.
21 seconds left in the second quarter. Mount Washington, there you see them in green. D'Arcangelo firing the ball in the net. And now Mount Washington will try to score again in the final seconds, and they do! Brooks Sweet, his second goal. We've got a player down. Sweet from Shaw. It's 8-4, and Shaw was down after that assist, and now he is back up. There you see him. Steve Shaw, one of the outstanding additions to this team that have changed their fortunes from last year, eliminated in the semifinals and finishing 3rd in the tournament. This year they're making a strong run at the tournament title, something they won in '86. Maryland has dominated since '79. Let's go back to live action now. As we get ready, there's just 16 seconds to go, and Mount Washington will try to add to that 4-goal lead. Ooh, Rossi with a hard check. DeSico has it knocked away. Rossi on the run, 5 seconds. He's got to hurry. Fires wide. 1 second to play. That's it. There is the half. And in the first half, Mount Washington, coached by Rich Mollett, in control, 8-4, leading over Team Colorado in the MAB Paint All Lacrosse Shootout from Vail, Colorado. Michael Claw with Bill Barroza. We'll come back with halftime stats, more action here from Vail right after this.
And now MAB presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAB hope you find it useful. Most do-it-yourself interior wall painting is done today with a paint roller. With the use of an extension pole, the upper part of the wall and ceiling can be done without climbing and moving a ladder every few minutes.
Roller covers vary in size and nap. The smoothness of the finish is affected by the length of the nap. Use a short nap for enamels and a longer nap for flat finishes.
One of the newer products on the market is the paint stick. Paint is stored in the handle, reducing roller-to-tray refill trips. Both brushes and roller covers should be lubricated with water for latex paints and solvent for oil-based paints, and then spun to remove excess brush moisture. Preconditioning your brush and roller cover will greatly improve their painting performance.
This tip was selected from MAB's popular video presentation, Painting Tips Inside Your House. Michael Clark with the founder and promoter of the Vail Lacrosse Shootout here, Jim Soren. And Jim, when you were back lining the fields with flour, running a small tournament, did you think you'd have an internationally prominent tournament here in Colorado?
Never. I mean, we had a lot of fun doing it, but we never thought it'd grow to this extreme, really. It's just all grown by word of mouth, great players coming out, and people love to play the game of lacrosse. They'll travel anywhere to get to it, and we give them a good environment like this, and it just seems to bring them back every year. Lacrosse is thought of being an Eastern sport, and a lot of people don't think it's played anywhere west of the Appalachians, and that's just not true. The teams here in Denver, in the Denver area, and Colorado have really improved dramatically over the past few years, and I think in part because of the tournament. The kids have come up year after year. They've seen the really good players coming in from the East Coast. They've picked up the game from them, in part. A lot of high school kids from Denver are going back east and playing now, and the caliber of lacrosse is just improving.
Oh, yeah,
So,
it is. Colorado is a true hotbed. You've done a great job, Jim. Congratulations on a great tournament.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks
thank
for
you. We're about to start the second half. Players coming back out onto the field. And Jimmy Beardmore, goalkeeper for Mount Washington, has perhaps been the difference.
He certainly has. I think he has about 17 saves for the first half of the game. And he's certainly been the difference, clearing the ball as well as making the saves.
This was a key goal. Colorado had pulled back to within 6-4 when Jimmy D'Arcangelo fired this one in the final seconds of the first half. And then Mount Washington followed with another goal, Brooks Sweet from Shaw. And suddenly it's an 8-4 game. Colorado has to battle back from their largest deficit. In stats today, Bill, some key stats here.
Well, Mount Washington's leading with 30 shots against Colorado's 20, and the key factor in any game you play is ground balls, and Mount Washington has 27 loose balls versus Colorado's 17. Big difference there because you control the game.
All right, Bill, thanks. We'll come back with the second half of action right after this.
And now MAB presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAB hope you find it useful. Getting your room ready to paint admittedly takes some time, but it'll make the job less frustrating if you have readied the room.
Paint professionals all agree that surface preparation is the most important part of painting.
Not even the best paint can adhere to dirt, to flaking paint, or to glossy surfaces.
Washing and thorough rinsing with clean water is recommended for all walls and must be done in the kitchen and for noticeably dirty walls. Washing from the baseboard upward will prevent streaking. It's important to rinse with clean water to remove any residue, regardless of the directions on the detergent.
This tip was selected from MAB's popular video presentation, Painting Tips Inside Your House. We're back at the MAB Paint All Lacrosse Shootout from Vail, Colorado. Colorado, the team Colorado in the finals here for the second time in 12 years in blue. There you're seeing Colorado team player right there. It's Salazar who will face off for Colorado. He's been pretty successful. But Mount Washington, the team in the green that you will be seeing, has been in control 8-4. Colorado had closed to within 6-4, and then Mount Washington in the final few seconds, they are so explosive, opened it up, and it is now an 8-4 game. And the second half of action, 2 15-minute periods remain.
Even though Colorado leads in the stats, they're winning the game in stats. They've got 30 shots to Mount Washington's 20. Mount Washington is finding the goal, and they're putting them in.
Twice as many goals for Mount Washington with really only 2/3 as many shots. Salazar digs it out, but it's D'Arcangelo who makes the ground ball pickup, and here comes Shaw. Checked from behind and knocked away by the very fleet Brian Martin. Martin goes down. Sweet has it, bounces it past the front of the goal, and Colorado almost got burned again.
That was a great defensive play. Martin caught up to him, checked him from behind, and got that ball away. Although Colorado was leading in the ground ball game, they've got 27 for the first half, and Mount Washington only 17. That's going to be a key factor in the second half.
All right, it's 8-4. Mount Washington leading, 14:35 to play in the half. And this is a different Mount Washington team that came out here last year. They came out last year with 30 players, too many players. A lot of guys unhappy with their playing time. They had an all-star team that was so loaded with stars, they felt they would walk through the tournament, and they got burned in the semifinals by MAB Paint. This year they streamlined the team down to 21 players. They went for team-oriented players, changed personnel, as Guedera gives over to Delegati and back to Boubier behind the net. And they have been a much more cohesive unit on and off the field. In fact, the partying aspect of lacrosse is, of course, legendary. And this team really enjoys themselves when they relax after the game, too. It's a cohesive unit. Chemistry as Sweet sends it back behind the goal, past Boubier, and Bevel will bring it up for Colorado.
One big difference we can see in the second half is Mount Washington is slowing the pace of the game down. And that may hurt them as the game goes on, because their style in the first half seemed to work. I don't know if the players are tired or they're trying to conserve it for the fourth quarter.
Colorado's coaches said, let's turn it up, and we'll see if they do, as McCarthy, long stick defenseman, on the attack here. Here's Brannigan. And here comes Rossi into play. Colorado maneuvering slowly. D'Arcangelo watching Brannigan. Brannigan on the run, checked, doesn't get the shot off. Grabbed on the loose ball by Crone. And Mount Washington defense has been pretty good up close to the goal.
Mount Washington's been very good on defense. Their close defense has played well the entire tournament. And they've got some excellent defensemen, All-Americans down there close in.
Colorado back to the attack. They have burned their opponents in this tournament in the second half. They were tied at halftime and won 14-6 after a 4-4 tie against Skoll in the quarterfinals. They were up 6-5.
That was a great check by Jimmy D'Arcangelo. He wrapped it around and got the ball loose. And then the Green Turtle defense came up with the ball.
As we say, Colorado up 6-5. In the semifinals against Latrobe, went on to win that one big, 14-7. So we'll see if Colorado's legs, their youth, their conditioning, the fact that they may be a little more used to this altitude, although I don't know anybody who gets used to this altitude, may make a difference for them again here in the second half, but they've dug themselves a hole. As Mount Washington is back on the attack, Brooks Sweet out to Miles.
Mount Washington has been very deliberate on the clears. They're taking their time, and that's going to help them conserve some energy for the fourth quarter.
Sweet beats his man, comes in. Guedera feeding. Thurston knocked away by Martin, it looked like. Martin chasing it. Thurston, a good check. I'm sorry, it was Guedera. Colorado ball.
Colorado's been playing excellent defense, 6-on-6. They just need to stay. They need to keep Mount Washington out of the transition game and into a 6-on-6 settled offensive game.
This has been a very clean game, very few penalties. Very few man-up situations, I think really only one.
I think the refs have done an excellent job so far in the game. Kept it under control.
And Mount Washington had tangled with the refs in the quarterfinals. Plummer on the attack. He's been quick. He's scored. Running up the middle earlier today. Hovey behind the net. Has DeShorio on the left. Hovey checked by McGeaney. Goes down and has to get rid of it. And Gebline picks it up in front of the goal. DeShorio with the ground ball. Up top, here comes Plummer. Fires, bounces over the goal.
That was a great shot by Plummer. Just missed the upper pipe.
So the Mount Washington team has shut that out. As Mahoney coming around behind the net. He scored earlier. Very close in like that. Mahoney has been kept very quiet. He's got 14 points. In the tournament, leading scorer by far for Colorado. Other than his one goal, oh, he also has an assist. I take that back. He's not been involved with the ball that often. Miles takes it away. On the run, it's Appleton. Thurston.
Doug Appleton's been impressive the entire tournament. He's a long stick midi, and he's done a great job at moving the ball upfield quickly for Mount Washington.
One of the additions to this team, Coach Rich Mollett on the plane home, decided on some of the changes he wanted to make. He was disgusted losing in the semifinals last year after being defending champs in '86. Taken away by Parietti. Cisneros, and Colorado wants to run. It's DeShorio on the run. This is their game.
They've got a break if they take advantage of it.
DeShorio firing wildly.
That's not the play you want. On that play, Mike, you want to draw the defensive players for Mount Washington, move the ball around. It should be a one-on-one with the goalie.
And as Brian Mahoney from Duke, that number 70, sort of walks off the field. He is the leading scorer for the ACC this last year. We've got timeout. Colorado no closer with 9:44 to play in the third quarter. Still trailing 8-4 in the shootout here in Vail, Colorado. We're back looking at Colorado swarming defense around their own net. McCarthy 22. Too often they have not come up with the ball as Cisneros does there. They trail 8-4 here in Vail. with 9:44 to play in the third quarter. Still plenty of time, and Colorado is the younger, better conditioned second half team. If you had to pick one for the second half, it'd be Colorado. But they're down by 4. Michael Clore, Bill Barroza, former team captain of the World Championship USA lacrosse team in 1982. Hovey behind the net for Colorado in the blue.
Colorado keeps working from the attack, and Mount Washington's strength on defense has been their close defense. I think Colorado should try to go from the midfield and see if they can beat them there.
DeShorio, midfielder with the ball out top, has Parietti.
But as I said, they should go from the midfield. At the same time, Mount Washington's got 2 long sticks there defensively, and 2 good long sticks in DeSico and Appleton.
Ooh, hard check, and Kisselnicki goes down. Parietti checked, but keeps his feet, battling Crone. And now it's out of bounds. It'll be Colorado ball. Kisselnicki has it. Kisselnicki up top for Colorado. Marked by Shaw. Bounces one. I think everybody in the world knew that shot was coming, but he had a bit of a screen on the crease line. Hoped it would sneak in past Beardmore, but not much does. Shaw brings it into the offensive end and has Sweet on the wing. Would not believe this is the same Mount Washington team after watching him play in the quarterfinals when 11 of the final 24 minutes of the game, they played a man down. Up 8-2, they lost their lead, went down 2 goals, and battled back. There was no fear in the team's eyes. Coach Rich Millett, as that pass is overthrown past Delegati. Coach Rich Millett said he didn't really doubt that they could come back and win it with 40 seconds to go down 2 goals. Because he said nobody wanted to quit, he could see it. Hard shot, Cisneros blocks it at the corner of the net. Shot by Sherwood, he had 2 goals in the semifinals. Impressive performance for Dave Sherwood out of Loyola College. Bouvier. We've got a penalty flag down against Hannon. Oh, nice pass high by the side of the goal, but Sweet can't drop it in, and now we'll have the clock stopped, and we'll have this penalty call.
It was a great save on that. It started off with a good feed to the crease by Delegati to Brooks Sweet, but goalie made an excellent save on that play.
Jim Hannon. Personal foul. And he will be down for a minute.
Colorado can't wait to get back in this game. They've got to take some good shots and score on some good opportunities. They've had them, but they're not taking the good shot that they need to.
The dangerous Jim Darkangelo operating up top, faking fires. Whoa, saved by Cisneros. Pushed from behind, no call. Oh, Beardmore out of the goal and on the run. It's Mahoney, his 2nd goal of the game. He is explosive when he gets the chance from Duke. Former championship player in Colorado at Kent Denver High School. And Mahoney, leading scorer in the Atlantic Coast Conference this past season. He's a star. Colorado needed a momentum change. They were a man down when they scored, Bill.
That was an exciting play from start to finish, from Jimmy Darkangelo getting in real close on the goalie. He made a nice save. Started with an outlet pass, made the pass all the way to his attackman. Jimmy Beardmore came out because he thought there'd be a loose ball. Colorado got the ball and shot at an open goal.
You know, he beat Beardmore, but Beardmore nearly smothered that bouncer. Came right out of the goal, nearly smothered that shot. It got by him and into the net. 8-5, Mount Washington leading Colorado. Colorado hoping it's a comeback. If Mount Washington is going to weaken in the second half, they better do it soon from Colorado's perspective. Maybe the turnaround is coming that Colorado has enjoyed in all of their second halves here. It'll remain Mount Washington ball. Shaw has it. The names we're calling, a lot of them are the new players added by Mount Washington. Thurston, Beardmore, Appleton, and Shaw. The additions to the team this year that have made a difference. Fire it into the net. Bouvier, high past Cisneros. And suddenly again, the 4-point lead. Mount Washington does not weaken.
For as quickly as Colorado can score, Mount Washington comes back just as fast. They prove that they're a good veteran team. It was about 3 passes upfield. We're going to see the play right here. Greg Bouvier takes it, right hand, and it's a high shot right past the goalie in the corner. Great shot.
There you see it bouncing around in the 6x6. Delegati on the assist that time. And again, the 4-goal lead as we get down here in the third quarter. 7:08 left in the third quarter. And this Mount Washington team, everybody, they said it themselves. They were worn down from playing 4 days. Not like Colorado, who said, hey, they were fresh. But they said being pumped up for the championship game would be enough to get them by the motivation of beating Colorado on their own field. And now a hold on the face-off. And the hold is against Mount Washington. Change of possession, it's Colorado ball.
Most of the Mount Washington goals have been scored on unsettled situations. When they play them 6-on-6, Colorado's doing very well defensively. And at that time, they got caught with a poor substitution through the box.
Up top, it's Salazar. It's been tough on the face-offs. To Guthrie in the game for this offensive series. Guthrie coming around, has it checked away beautifully by Appleton. Good check from Colorado that time. Mason Goodhand. Here comes Guthrie. Feeds on the wing. Beautiful pass. Goal! Terry Clausen. Great pass.
It was exciting action the whole time. From picking up the ground balls to making things happen. Some great passing to the goal. And that's where they've got to shoot on Jimmy Beardmore. It's got to be a one-on-one shot.
Here's a replay.
A great face dodge. Great face dodge by Guthrie. Hits the attackman all by himself. He's got a one-on-one and puts in a great shot.
9-6, Mount Washington leading by 3. Guthrie had 5 goals, no assists to this point. But that was an outstanding pass to make that play to Clausen. Clausen now with 6 goals in the tournament.
Well, scores 9-6 with over 6 minutes to go in this third quarter. And a 3-goal lead is nothing out here in the high altitude in Vail.
Colorado keeping the pressure on, scoring 2 of the last 3 goals. Martin chasing it towards the sideline, traps it and has the ground ball. He's got Sweet behind him.
Colorado still going with Salazar facing off, and at that time Shaw wasn't in there, and Shaw, Mount Washington's best face-off man, I think he was a little bit tired, so they took him out of the game.
Here's Mahoney. He's been dangerous in close. He whirls and he has it checked away by Crone. How many times have we mentioned Crone's name right in the goal mouth where it's most dangerous?
He's done a great job today, but all of Mount Washington's close defense has supported the Jimmy Beardmore in goal. And their long stick middies have done a super job as well.
McGeeney to Sweet on the wing. Sweet came in here the high scorer for his club.
I think Brooks is looking to settle the ball down. They're going to take their time. They're going to go to the goal. Because Colorado does play well, 6-on-6. So they're going to have to just run some cutters. And you'll see Mount Washington, their midfielders, when they don't have the ball, they cut well to the goal. And they always look for the open man. So
Miles marked by Hannon, gets the ball back to Bouvier, and it goes in the lower left corner. A beautiful shot. Nice pass.
Well, that's another example of somebody cutting. Glenn Miles went to the goal. Bouvier cut for the ball. He fed him, and he put in a good shot.
Bouvier scoring his 2nd goal, and he already has 2 assists.
We see the replay here. Glenn Miles drives. He took 2 of the Colorado defenders, hit Bouvier basically all by himself there. The defenseman was a couple feet away, and he put a nice shot in. It was lower corner. It's a hard save for any goalie.
And just that quick, once again, Mount Washington jumps back to the 4-goal lead. They're relentless. This club of veterans is not weakening. Rich Mollett says lacrosse is a game of situations, repetition and experience. It's the only way you learn it. You can be a fantastic athlete, but you've got to play it, and they've got the guys on this Mount Washington who have played and played and played it for years and years. Guys like Steve Shaw right there, and this guy, Jimmy D'Arcangelo, picking up the ground ball, number 20. The veterans in control by 4 goals, leading 10-6.
Let's see if Lou gets the ball again and goes to the goal. He's back in there. He's been the mainstay of this midfield line.
Delegati back out top. D'Arcangelo and Delegati, the veterans, in the midfield. Miles feeds inside. Beautiful pass. Bouvier with a great quick shot. Touch shot.
But I'll tell you, that was an excellent save. Just a fantastic save.
Cisneros saw it all the way. Really quick reaction to get that stick up high. Salazar has it, and we've got Colorado asking for a timeout. They're down 10-6 with 4:30 to go in the third quarter from the MAB Paint All Lacrosse Shootout in Vail, Colorado. Championship game in the men's for this All-Star Lacrosse tournament as Salazar comes off. We'll be back right after this.
And now MAB presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAB hope you find it useful.
Previously painted trim and woodwork probably have a glossy finish. Use fine sandpaper to scuff them up to increase the adhesion of your new coat of paint.
Cover areas that you don't want to get paint on, such as hinges on doors, woodwork, and moldings, with masking tape.
Reread the directions on the paint can label. Every suggestion on the label should be followed. Plan to provide adequate ventilation during your project. This will reduce fumes and odors and speed drying time. Now you're ready to start painting. May we suggest that you rub protective cream or MAB's Minute Off waterless soap on your hands and arms. This will make it easier to remove spattered paint from your skin.
This tip was selected from MAB's popular video presentation, Painting Tips Inside Your House.
From the player to the fan, the finest in lacrosse equipment is at All Lacrosse. Call 1-800-LACROSSE for the widest selection of t-shirts, hats, and posters, sticks, gloves, arm pads, jerseys, and shorts. For a free color catalog, call 1-800-LACROSSE and talk to an experienced sales staff. All Lacrosse, sponsors of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League and suppliers of the world champion USA national team. Our name and numbers say it all. All Lacrosse, 1-800-LACROSSE.
We're back. Looking at that last goal that put Mount Washington up by 4. There you see Miles' pass. No wonder he was all midfield in the United States in 1986. An outstanding midfielder in the country as Boubier, leaping, fires past Cisneros. Mount Washington will not surrender that 4-goal lead as quickly as Colorado cuts it to 3. They come back, and they're up here with 4:28 to play. Colorado on the attack, has it behind the goal. That's Hovey. He's been quiet today. And we may have a hold on Miles here, not sure, as Rossi battled him for the ball outside the goal. Illegal procedure.
We've got a penalty coming up. We're waiting for the call. It's interference on number 5. That's Mark DeSico. So if Colorado's going to make a turn for the best here, they're going to have to put in a ball now.
There'll be a man up for 30 seconds. DeShorio, they call him Dish, on the sideline there to bring it in.
They're not going with 5 long sticks, which is surprising. They've got Steve Shaw in there with a shorter stick, and I don't know if that's because they're running out of defensive middies, and that may be because the penalty was on DeSico.
Colorado moving the ball well, showing patience, but Hovey has it blocked away by Shaw. And we've got is that a hand touch ball?
I think it was a hand touch ball
on Shaw. That's Shaw with the illegal touch. And now Hovey will start it out again. 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Colorado could use one here. They're a man up. Oh, McGeeney checking Guthrie hard. Guthrie scoops it. And we've got another call here. We've got McGeeney on the push for Mount Washington.
Colorado will now be 2 men up. They've got a push from behind. Push from behind on McGeeney, number 23.
He'll come out. McGeeney, the outstanding defender, usually marks the top scorer for the opposing teams. He's shut down some good ones in this tournament. Peter Scott and Kevin Cook. Cook, an all-world team player. Scott, one of the outstanding players anywhere, and he's doing a good job here.
The first penalty did expire, so they're only 1 man down now. Great feed, great shot.
In front with the goal, a feed from Rossi to Mason Goodhand, and Colorado cuts it again to 3 goals, 10-7.
Every time you think Colorado's out of this game, they come back with a goal. But every time they've scored, it seems like Mount Washington's come right back. So we'll see what happens now in this next face-off. We've got the matchup between Salazar and Shaw, 2 of the best face-off men's.
There you're looking at Jimmy Beardmore. He's been tough in goal, but Colorado's getting to him in this period. Colorado already with their 3rd goal of the period.
And the difference now has been the shooting inside. They're shooting inside, and that's where they're scoring.
Shaw holding Salazar back so Miles can make the scoop. But Hannon, stick broke. He leaves it on the field, comes off, and he's replaced. Quick offense shot by Boubier, very wide right for a man that close. And we've got a flag down, perhaps an illegal substitution here as Goodhand came over. I'm sorry, as Hannon came off with the broken stick. Yep, substitution coming in too soon. Colorado in transition on defense against a fast break, trying to get their substitution in too quickly.
Yeah, you can see that Jim Hannon stick broke on that check of Glenn Miles. It was a great check, but as he came off the field, the other Martin, the defensive player, got onto the field just a bit too fast.
So we'll have a 30-second penalty now against Colorado, and they go from being a man up to being a man down.
And this is one of Mount Washington's strengths, is their man up. Their 3-3 play. They look to shoot inside.
Plenty of patience. Arcangelo to Delegati to Miles. They've got the 3 big veteran midfielders in. There's Miles.
Oh, it was knocked down by Colorado. Great defense.
Well, it's Kirk Thurston. Saves it back in. Here's Arcangelo. Now Mount Washington might have to hurry a little bit.
Now Washington's looking to move it across the front of the face of the goal, so it's a one-on-one with the goalie.
They had Boubier cutting in front, but couldn't hit him. Sweet saves. We've got a ruling. It's over the end line, and Colorado will get the ball.
Well, that's the 2nd time in a row that Colorado has stopped Mount Washington Green Turtles on an extra man play. The last time, DeCeros, the goalie, made a save and then came down. They fast broke it and they scored a goal.
Yeah, Colorado scored a man down. Ooh, hard check. Thurston controls it anyway. Wild check by Brannigan. Flip shot over the shoulder, wild by Boubier. Arcangelo on the run. Cannot hit Boubier, who's really getting a workout there in front of that goal. Bevel will take it for Colorado, and Colorado will go on offense. And I think we're back at full strength. 2:33 to play in the 3rd quarter. Plummer. To Rossi. Colorado down 3 with the ball. They haven't been in this situation all that much. Mount Washington did not put it right back up to a 4-goal lead like they had earlier this quarter. Chance for Colorado to get close.
That ball was stopped at the defense. And as I said, Colorado's got to start working that ball inside. They don't want to take the outside shots on a hot goalie.
Colorado team made up of a lot of Denver Rifles from the American Lacrosse League who stayed out here to play in this tournament. But a lot of them are native Coloradans. DeSico sends it back to Beardmore. He's got Hovey with him. .137 to play in the 3rd quarter. Beardmore killing time behind the goal. Oh no, over Plummer's head, grabbed by Bauer, one of the sponsors of this team, owner of the Green Mountain Tavern in Baltimore. Sponsor of that
Mount Washington
Tavern. All right. Mount Washington Tavern Lacrosse Club.
Teddy was an All-American midfielder from Washington Lee University in Virginia.
Thurston coming around. Checked from behind. There's going to be a hold call. It looked like against Dave Devine for Colorado.
Cisneros came up with a great save there. I'll tell you, and if Colorado's going to stay in this game, he's got to get hot and keep him in there. He's doing a great job this 2nd half. You can see Devine out on Llewellyn, I believe that is, or Kirk Thurston, excuse me. Pulls back, holds him, but Cisneros comes up with a save, keep it a 3-goal game here. We've only got under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter.
Jimmy D'Arcangelo shoots high. Cisneros has it all the way. Paul Fazzini has it up to Salazar on the run. Colorado wants to run. On the side of goal, Mahoney across the face of the goal. Hovey, it does. A lot of people thought that was in. It bounced across the face and out, says the referee. Mahoney behind the goal has it again.
Salazar was in there with a long stick and did a great job helping the team out clearing the ball. And instead of shooting the ball, he was very patient, made a good feed, and that ball should have been in the goal.
Hovey bounces one high over Beardmore's head, controlled in front by the defense, actually by Delegati, the midfielder. But he loses it to Parietti. Guthrie, dodging, comes in, tries to go between Beardmore's legs, and it bounces up and over off the side. And that's it. That's the third quarter. Mount Washington Green Turtles from Baltimore leading Team Colorado in this battle of all-star teams at the MAV Paint All Lacrosse Classic from Vail, Colorado. As you look at the crowd here, probably about 5,000 in attendance ringing this field. This event is 4 days long and draws about 10,000 people every year. We'll be back with more with the fourth quarter of action with Mount Washington leading 10-7. Most inspirational performance, 77-year-old Bill Kemper in the Masters game. You should have seen him get up and down that field. Action from the third quarter as we start with the face-off for the fourth quarter.
It's Shaw and Salazar.
Shaw just sitting on Salazar at midfield here. And now Washington controlling. Knocked away from Appleton by Martin. Martin has 7 ground balls and 2 steals. Mahoney, oh, he gets flattened up high and he is down and hurt. He got hit in the head by Gebline. Will we have a call here? Well, we have a referee's timeout because Mahoney is down and hurt. Colorado does not want to lose their most explosive scorer, Paul Mahoney from Denver and from Duke. We're in the final quarter of action at the MAB Paints All Lacrosse Shootout from Vail, Colorado. Bragging rights, 16 all-star teams from the hotbeds of lacrosse around the country, California and the Big Ten, the Pacific Northwest, Philadelphia, Boston, Long Island, the defending champs. They've all been knocked out. It's just Baltimore, the Mount Washington Tavern Green Turtle team, and Colorado, Team Colorado battling for bragging rights. Each section of the country puts together an all-star team, and this would be a tremendous coup if Colorado can overcome a 3-goal deficit in the final quarter as Mahoney comes off limping, being helped off by John Bach there in the yellow shirt, the general manager for the Denver Rifles team and coach of this Colorado team.
That'd be a big loss if Mahoney's out for the rest of the game because he has controlled the offense for Colorado, and hopefully he'll be back ready to play in a couple minutes.
Colorado lacrosse has come on quickly. It's not very old. Really, there wasn't much high school lacrosse played here until a few teams were started in the 1960s. But there are 14 natives and 3 longtime residents out of the 27 on this roster, and a number of others will probably stay out here. That's Dave Sherwood, 16. Gives it back to Flag. Maryland has dominated this classic as we have an offsides call here, and they don't want to surrender that. Dominance here to the Colorado team. They're leading 10-7. Colorado on the attack.
Colorado's come out better in the second half, and they've played better team ball.
Guthrie lets good hand cut in front of net, doesn't pass it. This time he passes to Clausen, can't handle it. Knocked away by Gebline, checked by Clausen, it's loose. Beardmore chasing it, Parietti bumped away by DeSico, and here's Beardmore out of the goal. He's not done this much against Colorado. He ran the length of the field against every other team, but Colorado's made him pay. Boy, he overthrows. Great save there by Appleton. Check by DeShorio is late. And here comes Appleton. He's wide open if he wants to go in.
Appleton did a great job just keeping that ball in play and not letting it go out of bounds.
Kirk Thurston operating. They call him Fuzzy from the University of Maryland. Honorable mention All-American in 1987 and a first-team All-Club player last year. Here's Steve Shaw. He's been tough. Marked by Parietti. Shaw overthrowing Flag.
Now Washington's not playing the type of game they did in the first half.
John Bach throwing it in quickly to his defenseman, Bevel. Gets it up to DeShorio, and here comes Colorado on the attack. They trail by 3, 12:49 to play in the game. Colorado like to achieve prominence in the lacrosse world with a comeback victory here over powerful Maryland squad and an experienced Maryland squad. DeShorio cannot pick the ground ball up. Look at that move by DeSico. He's double teamed, gets it away to Gebline, and now running it up is Shaw, being chased from behind by Clausen. Ooh, how about that? Rossi checked Shaw, and it was Rossi that went flying. Checked by Brannigan, and he takes the ball away on the steal.
We've got some great action going on here now.
Brannigan is quick. He played man up for Syracuse on their national championship team. Crone overthrows Delegati. Both teams a little bit tired out here. Here comes Rossi. They're running hard. Rossi's an explosive scorer for Colorado. Nice feed. Oh, Brannigan doesn't handle it. Good hand. Slows it down for Colorado. And they'll try to set something up here. Here's Hovey.
Those middies have been out there a while. Both teams are getting tired. So they should try to go from the midfield if they could.
Brannigan loses it. Coming up with the long stick is Crone. Plummer chasing it. Looked like Crone kicked it out of bounds. We'll see what the call is. It's Colorado ball. Here comes Plummer, sends it back in. To Chris Rossi. Plummer, Colorado taking its time. 11:06 to play. They're down by 3 goals, but they can't waste too many opportunities. Just to give you an idea, in that third quarter alone, they had 30 shots to Mount Washington's 20, but they're still trailing on the score. They've got to convert them. Beardmore chases the wide shot back behind the goal.
Colorado's middies are tired now. They should be coming out of the game. They're staying in there a little bit too long, and that's going to hurt them when they have to play defense against Mount Washington.
Clausen, one of those middies who's got to be tired, chasing Beardmore all over the lot. Beardmore gets it away, and Shaw brings it up on the run. Check that, that's Guidera. Number 8, loses it, gets it back. And now Mount Washington, they're in no hurry. They want to rest the legs, and they want to control the ball. They're up by 3. Delegati bounces one wide. Cisneros was right on that one, but the ball was wide anyway. Bouvier, he's had an outstanding game. Couple of goals, couple of assists. Sweet loses it. Bevel is after him. Colorado ball.
Colorado's playing very solid defense. They're doing very well. They've just got to crack the defense of Mount Washington.
10 minutes to play in this one. Plummer on the run. He's dangerous when he's on the move. Fires wide across the front of the goal mouth and out of bounds. Chasing it out is Goodhand, so Colorado will maintain control. Colorado struggling on offense. They've had their opportunities, but they're not working for the better shots. We've got a hold. I guess against Brannigan.
They called that on Colorado.
Surprise, guy with the ball holds. Unusual. Anything can happen. D'Arcangelo has it for Mount Washington. Miles, beauty to Delegati.
Colorado's middies have been out there too long in the field. They couldn't go to the goal. Mount Washington puts out a fresh set of legs here.
Martin, Guthrie, Hannon, some of the midfielders on the field for Colorado right now.
You got D'Arcangelo, Miles, and Delegati. It's a strong line for them.
Nice idea by D'Arcangelo, but he overthrows Bouvier at the corner of the goal. Everybody knows D'Arcangelo's going right. Nobody stops him. Look at that.
He got a breakaway to the goal.
Mahoney, he scored from in there before. This time, Beardmore deflects it. Tough to stop Mahoney in that close. Give Mount Washington some credit. We've got timeout. Mount Washington wants that timeout. Colorado starting to attack the goal, perhaps a little more regularity, and with 8:57 to play, Mount Washington clinging, looking strong to a 10-7 lead over Team Colorado. We'll be back with more after this.
And now MAB presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAB hope you find it useful. If wallpaper or painted over wallpaper is on the walls, it's best to remove it, since problems can develop. Wallpaper remover makes the job easier. Once the wallpaper is removed, wash the walls thoroughly with Soil-Axe, Spick and Span, or trisodium phosphate, and rinse with clean water to make sure all paste and sizing have been removed. Some wallpapers can be painted over. However, tears must be repaired, and the paper must be well secured to the wall. Check with your MAB paint salesman for expert advice when planning to paint over paper.
This tip was selected from MAB's popular video presentation, Painting Tips Inside Your House.
From the player to the fan, the finest in lacrosse equipment is at All Lacrosse. Call 1-800-LACROSSE for the widest selection of T-shirts, hats, and posters, sticks, gloves, arm pads, jerseys, and shorts. For a free color catalog, call 1-800-LACROSSE and talk to an experienced sales staff. All Lacrosse, sponsors of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League and suppliers of the world champion USA national team. Our name and numbers say it all. All Lacrosse, 1-800-LACROSSE.
We're back. There is just 8:57 to play as Colorado has to pull something out of a hat. You see them there in blue. They're down 3 goals. Well, the good veteran team.
Yeah, the good news for Team Colorado is Paul Mahoney is back into the game. He had an opportunity to score and cut that lead to a 2-goal lead just a couple of moments ago. But, Beardmore didn't give much to shoot at. I don't know if it was wide or it actually deflected off of him. But Colorado still maintains possession, and they could cut it to 2 here.
If you're looking for a weakness, it seems like, if anything, that maybe the edge is off because of perhaps being a little tired off of that Mount Washington defense. They're not quite as strong. They're Colorado getting some closer shots there in this half than they did in the first half. DeShorio, wrap check by D'Arcangelo, but he holds on. Oh, beautiful pass, DeShorio to Clausen, and now Colorado closer than they've been since the waning moments of the first half. They trail by 2.
Colorado wasn't cutting well in the beginning of the game, certainly the first half. In the second half, they started to move to the ball. This play is just a perfect play. It's a cut to the ball, and that's where they're scoring. That's where they've been scoring in the second half. It's been one-on-ones on Jimmy Beardmore.
10-8. Terry Clausen puts that one in. He's from Colorado College, from East High School in Denver, a local product, played with the Denver Rifles this last year. A pass from DeShorio. Yeah, he had a crowd calling Colorado on. They're expecting Colorado to finish strong. They've got the young legs and the conditioning, and they've also played together as a team longer, since a lot of them played with the Rifles together. Oh, Bouvier says...
Beautiful save by Cisneros. Beautiful save.
Really got down on that bouncer. Now Washington just coming right at him to take momentum away, but Colorado handles the challenge, and now it's Guthrie on the run. He's got an open shot. Nope, Miles cuts him off and sends him back to the wing. Behind the goal, Mahoney.
Colorado has some life in them. They feel they can win this game, and they're only down 2 goals. Two goals and 8 minutes to go. That's plenty of time.
Not a high-scoring game, 10-8. Good defense from both squads as Parietti maneuvers on the outside. Sends it out to DeShorio. Guthrie. Oh, he's got Miles behind him. He better look out. Here he comes on the run. Fires wild left. Boy.
I think that should have been a Team Colorado ball there.
Looked like Mahoney was closest, but the officials say no. And Beardmore sends it up on the side to McGeeney. And now the veteran team with the experience, led by Miles, sending it up to Nordberg. Nordberg out of Johns Hopkins was on their 84 and 85 National Collegiate Championship teams.
Lenny Miles normally will go to the goal, but I think he's a little bit tired, and we called it. Here he comes off the field. He's going to substitute.
Bauer is in, the veteran for Mount Washington. They've got some of their cooler heads in. Bouvier maneuvering near the goal, flips a little one out, and it is stolen on the run by McCarthy to Bevel. Bevel, the defenseman, will take it on the run into the attack zone.
Bevel was an alternate on the 1986 USA team, and just a great defenseman, and I believe he was a member of the Denver Rifles as well.
Mahoney with the ball on the sideline, part of a great Colorado lacrosse family. His brother is also at Duke now.
Colorado seems to be controlling the ball in the fourth quarter now, but they've got to get in close. That's where they're going to score on this goalie.
Rossi to Hovey, and McGeeney has really shut Hovey down today. We have hardly called Hovey's name. McGeeney's done a super job on the top scoring threats for each team that Mount Washington has played, and now chasing it out of bounds is Bauer. Ooh, Hovey gets hit by McGeeney. It's getting rough over there, and the wind is whipping up. As the excitement picks up, so does the wind here in the mountains of Colorado.
Mike, it's certainly a beautiful setting for a lacrosse game.
It's a tremendous wide valley here, well over 8,000 feet in the air in Vail, Colorado. This is a grueling test of who the best is. Play 4 days in a row at this altitude. But it's an inspiring vista. Up top, Brannigan finds Clausen. He scored that last goal for Colorado. He'll set it up on top again. Here he comes in the side. He doesn't get anywhere there. Double teamed and checked hard. He controls, gets it to Rossi, who is checked hard, and we've got a flag. That was Crone that came up hard with Gebline on Rossi. Mount Washington's starting to do some double teaming in there.
Yeah, I was surprised that he held on to that ball. 2 of the Mount Washington defensive players hit him, but he kept the ball, and now is a great opportunity coming up for Colorado to cut the difference to 1 goal.
Let's watch this one again. There you see it. Boy, hit hard by, that was Crone. And the wind is whipping. It's knocking our soft drinks over here. It is really a powerful wind here in Colorado. And it's a wild scene. There's Mahoney. He's dangerous back there. Back to DeShorio. Guthrie. Mahoney back in the middle. Rossi, nice feed. It's in. Bounces it low into the right side past Beardmore. And the Colorado fans go wild. Team Colorado with 5:20 to play is down by just 1. It's 10-9. Can Mount Washington hold on?
I'll tell you, as we said earlier in the game, Colorado's in shape, and they can run with these guys. We see the replay here. Just a beautiful bounce shot past Jimmy Beardmore. I don't believe it was a screen. It was just such a hard shot that Jimmy couldn't move to the ball.
Guthrie from good hand. And the referees are pushing the Colorado team back into their own area. They're in the penalty box. They're so excited. They're off the sidelines. The face-off controlled by Colorado. On the run, it's Salazar. He's got Clausen with him, and now Martin will come off. And Plummer will come on, and they'll go into their offense. They're showing some control here, a chance to tie for the Colorado team.
Salazar's impressed me all game. He's facing off against one of the best face-off men in the country, Steve Shaw, and he's come through and done a fantastic job.
Hovey, wrapped up tight by McGeeney, gets it away anyway to Rossi, and Colorado is doing very well. Oh, Plummer fires it low left on a bouncer past Beardmore. It is a tie game with 4:33 to play. Colorado's comeback has come at last.
You know, it's amazing what a hot goalie can do for you. In the first half, Jimmy Beardmore was impenetrable. They couldn't get anything by him. In the second half, they seem to have found the niche here. I think there was quite a few bodies in front of Beardmore here. Perfect screen by number 3 for Colorado.
Wow, we've got a hot one. 4:33 to play. It's all tied. Colorado trying to defeat Maryland. One of the real hotbeds of lacrosse, the upstart Colorado team, is now pulled even. Martin up in the air, can't control. Darkangelo muscles him away, picks it up, knocked away again. Flipped. Oh, stolen by Martin.
Play. Martin had a beautiful play there.
Salazar takes a check to the head from Appleton and holds on. Colorado team is tough. They're getting checked, but they're holding on to the ball now.
We've seen Salazar do everything for Team Colorado today. Face off, play man-down defense, and just be an inspirational team leader here.
And the other man in on that play, 31 Martin, 7 ground balls and 3 steals today. Here's Rossi. Clausen maneuvering around behind the goal. Sends a cutter in front of him. Boy, he is being checked hard by Gebline. Shaw intercepts on the flip meant for Plummer. Here comes Mount Washington on the run. It's McGeeney coming across the line, the defenseman into the attack area. And he's got no one to throw to, as Devine is up top, the defenseman for Colorado, playing defense against Thurston. We've got a timeout. Mount Washington wants to regroup here. It's 10-10 with 3:27 to play in the fourth quarter. We'll be back to wrap this one up and see what happens. We might have overtime. Back after this. There it is, Team Colorado on the attack. They pulled even here, 10-10. The pass on the wing. Plummer.
Beautiful screen. Number 3 cutting across, I think, really threw Jimmy Baird more off, and it was hard to see that shot.
Below his stick and in the goal. And Colorado has battled back to pull even here and possibly to pull off the big upset. The wind is whipping. We're in Vail, Colorado in the afternoon on July 4th. And Jimmy Darkangelo, one of the all-time greats, sends it in the middle. It's grabbed by Devine. Blocked the shot and picked it up. He is pushed from behind. Yes, we have a call. It's on Thurston. Colorado ball. No penalty, change of possession. And is this wind going to affect play?
I don't think the wind will affect that much of the play. But
McCarthy.
I think Colorado has the momentum going right now in the fourth quarter. I think the fans are behind them because certainly we're playing here in Colorado.
Coach Rich Mollett from Baltimore said, hey, we'll have 70 guys. All the Eastern teams will root for us, and everybody else will be rooting for Colorado. From the middle of the country in the western part, and of course the natives have come out to see the action. It's Parietti on the left side for Colorado. Less than 3 minutes to play. It's a tie game at 10-all. Down 10-6. Colorado has battled back in the second half. But don't sell Mount Washington short.
Colorado was in the championship game 2 years ago against Long Island when we beat them, and I'll tell you, they're a much improved team since that time.
DeSico flattens Parietti, and now Brooks Sweet is on the attack. Mount Washington turns the tables quickly. Miles on the wing. And now they've got the veteran midfielders in Miles and Delegati. Miles very strong.
Great defense by number 26 for Team Colorado.
DiCiorio. Picked up by Thirsty. He's dangerous around there. Sends it up in the middle. Sweet. On the wing, fired by by Llewellyn. Hard but wide. Thurston chases it out. They'll rule it stays Mount Washington ball. Danny Llewellyn from Loyola College, their captain in 1988. Is in the game. He is number 2.
Great save there by Cisneros.
Lou Delegati.
Cisneros has come up for Team Colorado in the second half when he needed to. First half, Mount Washington put in some shots on him, but in the second half, he's come up strong.
1:40 to play. 10-10. Mount Washington wants to be in control down the stretch here.
Delegati's got 2 goals already, and he's powered his way to the goal. So anybody can score for this Mount Washington team here.
Sweet, behind the goal. Being checked by McCarthy. Reverses his field on McCarthy, has Bouvier, and the wing overthrows him. It's out of bounds. Colorado ball with 1:15 to play.
Mount Washington was so patient. I thought they were going to hit a cutter going to the goal.
And we will have the final, I believe that's the final timeout that Mount Washington has. 1:15 to play. We're tied at 10-10 here in the fourth quarter. And I guess we could take another break here and then come back and catch the final action here in the fourth quarter at the Vail Lacrosse Shootout.
And now MAB presents Painting Tips Inside Your House, prepared especially for you.
We at MAB hope you find it useful.
All paint should be stirred using an up and down spiral motion to assure thorough mixing until it appears uniform. Allow latex paint an opportunity to settle after stirring to eliminate bubbling.
We suggest that you transfer the paint to a larger container or pour half of the paint into a bucket to reduce the chance of spillage or drips.
A ceiling in a room gets painted first. Paint a border around the ceiling as the painting of the ceiling progresses. A 3-inch to 4-inch brush is ideal for this. Paint across the width rather than the length in 2-foot sections. Lap marks can be avoided by not allowing the first section to dry before painting the next. Using an extension pole is not only easier than using a ladder to reach, but it's considerably safer. Continue until the ceiling is completed.
This tip was selected from MAB's popular video presentation, Painting Tips, Inside Your House.
From the player to the fan, the finest in lacrosse equipment is at All Lacrosse. Call 1-800-LACROSSE for the widest selection of T-shirts, hats, and posters, sticks, gloves, arm pads, jerseys, and shorts. For a free color catalog, call 1-800-LACROSSE and talk to an experienced sales staff. All Lacrosse, sponsors of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League and suppliers of the world champion USA national team. Our name and numbers say it all. All Lacrosse, 1-800-LACROSSE.
Here in the Hall of Fame, I'm reminded of why this is such a great sport. It demands a lot from its players. Quickness, speed, skill. It also gives a lot to the fans. It's a fast-moving game with a lot of hard hitting. But it requires total teamwork. Maybe that's why I love to watch America's game, lacrosse.
For information about the 1989 lacrosse shootout, contact the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse Foundation.
10-10 with 56 seconds to play here at the MAB Paints All Lacrosse Shootout in Vail. It's Colorado on the attack. It's Rossi to Brannigan. Brannigan on the left wing.
Just before we took a break, Colorado had the ball in their defensive end. They cleared it well.
Brannigan scores. Colorado leads. What a turnaround. Brannigan unassisted. It's 11-10. Team Colorado is after the upset.
Mike, let's not forget, there's 42 seconds left in the game, and when Mount Washington Green Turtles played New York Athletic Club, they were down by 2 goals with 47 seconds left, put the game in overtime. As I said, you got Steve.
Let's see it again, Bill.
All right, we got the replay here. He comes in lefty. I'll tell you, I don't know if there was a screen in there or not, but it was certainly a hard shot that went past Jimmy Beardmore.
From Syracuse, a first midfielder, a man-up player for Syracuse. This year, out of Syracuse, he's played for the Denver Rifles. Rudy Brannigan puts Colorado ahead. 42 seconds to play, and Mount Washington scored at 37 and 33 seconds against New York Athletic Club. Here's Miles on the run.
That's not the person you want with the ball when you don't want somebody to score, because Glenn Miles can go to the goal and make things happen.
Brooke Sweet out top to Thurston. The attack men are controlling now from Mount Washington. He's in front. He's got it. He whirls. He fires over the right shoulder of Cisneros. We've got a tie game, 11-11, 21 seconds to play. It's a wild one, Bill.
I'll tell you, I was getting all excited watching the game. Glenn Miles, 2 years ago when Mount Washington played Long Island in the championship, the score was tied 7-7. He came down and scored the winning goal and made it 8-7. Glenn Miles picked up that ball again here with less than 30 seconds to go, and I just thought he was going to take it to the goal, but he was an unselfish player. He moved it around, and the team did a great job, and it was a beautiful shot on the goalie.
11-11, 21 seconds to play. Salazar and Shaw will face it off one more time. Ooh, there it is. Let's get back to action here as they dig at midfield. This time, Shaw got down as low as Salazar, and he comes away with it. Martin is chasing him.
Got 10 seconds
Dave
left
Devine
in this game.
from defense comes on offense with the long stick, controls. Great flip. We've got timeout. A referee call here, excuse me. Yes, timeout, Team Colorado. How about Dave Devine? Turns attackman, flips to Clausen, and Colorado calls timeout.
I'll tell you, the ball it was like a hot potato there. Everybody was touching it, but nobody come up with it. Shaw had the face-off, but I'll tell you, Team Colorado just didn't want to give ground there.
You're looking at John Bach, the coach. He's got to pull something out. We'll stay right here for this timeout. He's got to pull something out. He's got 5 seconds. It's 11-11. And if we do go overtime, I believe it'll be 4-minute sudden death periods until we're finished.
Well, what I'm gonna guess the play that they're gonna look for is maybe one pass and a shot, or maybe just a screen, and you're gonna see a whole host of blue jerseys in front of Jimmy Beardmore there in the goal.
They're going to have to do it quickly. Where will they get the ball here? They'll get the ball in the offensive end.
Yeah, they'll get the ball. It'll be outside of the restraining box. And Team Colorado's got a decision to make. Either they're gonna take the guy with the ball, but I'm sure that Mount Washington is going to take a long stick and have him cover the Team Colorado player with the ball.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who is going to be on the field as Rich Mollett walks off with his crew. There's John Bach's Team Colorado. Legs and lungs, he said. Play everybody sparingly. Bring a lot of players up and be fresh for the final game, and he's had great second halves, probably a lot because of the conditioning of this club. And he's doing it again here in the second half. They were down by 4 at halftime, and they've come all the way back from 8-4 to tie it at 11-11.
They've got a long stick on the midi. He's going to just go to the goal off a pick. Oh, what score!
And a penalty, but it won't count. That's
what
it.
A fantastic finish to an exciting game.
Colorado wins it. Oh, they're going wild on the field. There they are, Team Colorado has won their own tournament here in Vail, Colorado. There he is, DeSico on the ground in disappointment. Mount Washington comes so far. They led most of the way, and now the disappointment. There is still 1 second to play. They're going to reset it. At 1 second, John Bach, you're running and yelling, saying, get back. We've got to still play it. There you see it.
Going to the goal. Let's see if there's a screen there. It's hard to see right now. There is no screen on Jimmy Beardmore. He just shoots that ball high.
Rossi beating Gebline and Beardmore.
I think it was around his hip side, and that's a difficult save to make.
A former junior college All-American, a guy who's known for having two hands. He shoots righty and lefty and hard both ways. A Denver Rifles player is here, formerly of Syracuse. The midfielder, Chris Rossi, puts Colorado ahead with 1 second to play. Now Washington doesn't panic, but what are they going to do now?
You know, the amazing thing, Mike, about this whole tournament is that in the beginning of the tournament, every team that Mount Washington has beat along the way, it's been a close game except for the first round. It's been a 1 or 2 goal game, and Team Colorado ends up winning it by 1 goal. It just shows all the parity in all the teams that are playing here in this tournament.
A big win in their own here in Colorado. It's not their tournament, but Team Colorado wins the Vail Classic for the first time in recent years since it's been opened up into a national event. And there you see a mob, John Bach, the coach in yellow with a hat on. It's a win for Colorado. Bill and I will be back. We'll do some stats. We'll talk to some of the winners if we can get them from here from Vail, Colorado at the MAV Paints All Lacrosse Shootout. Team Colorado is a winner. 12-11, a goal with 1 second to play makes the difference by Chris Rossi. An exciting battle. Colorado wins the MAV Paint All Lacrosse Shootout here in Vail in 1988.
What a fantastic finish to an exciting tournament. Chris Rossi just takes the ball on a sweep. It was a beautiful pick by another Colorado team member and just beats Jimmy Beardmore hip side. It was a great shot, and he was in close on Jimmy, and Jimmy was fantastic all day, but he was in so close to him. I'll tell you, it would be tough for any goalie to stop that shot.
When you win, you want to say you beat the best, and they beat the best on that shot with Jimmy Beardmore being selected as a tournament MVP. Colorado with an outstanding advantage in shots taken.
Well, Colorado ended the game with 58 shots, and Mount Washington had about 36, so Jimmy Beardmore was called on to make a lot of saves. He ended the game with 22. The interesting thing about that is he had 17 in the first half, and in the second half, when they needed him, he made some of the saves, but the offense from Mount Washington wasn't there. They didn't come through and help out Jimmy Beardmore like they should have.
All right, a great final. We'll be back. We'll talk to the winning coach and at least one of the winning players from Team Colorado at the 1988 MAV Paints All Lacrosse Shootout from Vail, Colorado. Here with John Bach, coach of the winning Team Colorado, with a trophy almost as big as you are, John.
Yeah, I'm just a little guy.
Was there a time when you were down 8-4, perhaps, right at the end of the first half, when you thought maybe it wasn't your year?
No, in all honesty, we came to play 60 minutes. And that's what we've been saying all along, that our legs were designed and the whole team was built around being able to play a 60-minute game in the championship. And it took 59-59 to do it, and we were right there.
What do you think turned it around for you?
I think our legs in the second half. Beardmore did a phenomenal job, particularly in the first half of stuffing our shots. I think I heard Billy say that there was something like 17 saves in the first half that he had. We had some excellent opportunities, but we just couldn't convert, and he made us press a little bit. But come the second half, our guys really started running more. We got them a little spread out better, had our offense moving the ball the way they needed to, and then our legs really did kick in. But it was really our ability to put the clamps on them and not give them a bunch of goals in the second half. We were down 8-4 at halftime, and we gave up 3 goals. And that's been the halcyon mark of this team throughout the tournament. When it came time to go really hard in the second half, it was our game.
All right.
And it took us a little longer than I wanted it to, but we got there.
Right. Great case of nerves, but it's worth it when you win. I've got the goalkeeper, Dan Cisneros. And Dan, did you think there was any doubt in the guys' minds at halftime that you guys were down 4 goals against a tough team?
No, I think we've been behind 2 games out of the 4 this tournament, and we were relying on the second half. It's been our second half the whole tournament, and everybody just wanted the points. They wanted the goals to get us back, and each one, we took one at a time. That was what did it.
What is it like for Colorado, for the guys out here in terms of lacrosse? You beat the team from Maryland. Maryland, known as perhaps the oldest and the most established area for lacrosse in the country.
Extremely. I can't tell you the feeling that we're feeling. Contrary to belief, most of the players on the Colorado team are from Colorado, and we've been plugging at this for years and years, and it's a phenomenal feeling. It really is, to keep it home and call it the Colorado tournament.
Well, great game. You guys did it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Back with Bill Barosa. We couldn't have asked for anything more. We're yelling and screaming 1 second to go to winning goal scores.
Absolutely fantastic.
A great tournament in Vail, Colorado. The MAB Paint All Lacrosse Tournament ends with Team Colorado a winner in 1988. A couple of quick thanks to Frank Weimer, one of the godfathers of Colorado lacrosse, the promoters, Jim Soren and Flip Nomborg. For Bill Barosa, Michael Claus saying thanks, and once again, Team Colorado wins it over Mount Washington, 12-11.
The Lacrosse Shootout has been sponsored by MAB Paint, paints and coatings manufactured by the Bruder family since 1899, and by All Lacrosse, the finest in lacrosse equipment.